Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backshot Boxing. Nah, man, my boy Blue Buzz Sports TV, man, came out with a fire video, man, talking about how Bob Arum, Bob Arum is in a lawsuit with Terence Bud Crawford for a nuisance suit, basically saying that the reason why Terence Crawford didn't get in these big fights with Errol Spence Jr. and with Manny Pacquiao is because unifying belts is so stupid, right? Now, that being said, man, Bob Arum, he was talking about how these sanctioning fees are insane. They can range from 12% to 20% of the fighter's total purse after everything's said and done. And it's wild, man. Now, I like Blue Bus Sports, but, Blue said it was stupid to unify titles. And, there's some truth to that. But, in this day and age, the fighters of the past, of Pacquiao's era, were more respected than the fighters now. Right, you got a lot of Hall of Fame fighters of the past that stayed in one division the whole career, but fought the quote unquote best of the best. But they are respected. You got a lot of fighters today who stay in a division and fight everyone, but no one's really talking about them, right? That being said, the only reason why you're going to be really respected in sport of boxing today is accolades, right? And knowing how great a fighter was at the time is different than beating a guy for a title. You win all 4 titles in a division and become undisputed. That's undebatable. Doesn't matter who the guy was. You don't need to know who the guy was. Looking back 100 years from now, they'll just know you became undisputed. So I do think that there is some meaning in getting these titles. But yeah, man, these sanctioning fees are out of control. I do think that, if the casual boxing fan respects these fighters, like they used to, maybe you wouldn't have to unify so much, but all that being said, I do think there's some merit to being unified, right? Understand that if you actually didn't know this, Manny Pacquiao, he actually never unified in his whole career. All the unifications he tried to get, he lost, right? He tried to unify with Eric Morales, and he lost that fight, and I can go on and on through Pacquiao's resume. But every unification he tried to do, he didn't win it. So, you can always look that up yourself. BoxRec is always there for you guys. And if you have a dispute, throw it in the comment section. But yeah, but Pacquiao was just flying through the division with 1 title, and he became a superstar, right? And that's facts. So, but like I said earlier, the fighters of the past were way more respected than they are now. So people are going to give some fighters credit and other fighters no credit. So that being said, people really can't say that the champions aren't the best fighters and that these contenders are better than the champions. You might have 1 or 2 fighters who can be considered championship level. Maybe if they got stripped or something like that. Like at the 168 division, Canelo Alvarez. He beat the champions, but he didn't beat Dave Benavidez, who got stripped of the 168 title. Right, still undefeated, never lost. Right, former WBC champion. Right, so there's always an exception, right? But all that being said, man, unifying belts is really important. Now it is wild that Terence Bud Crawford became undisputed when he's saying unifying belts is stupid. I really do think that Terence Bud Crawford becoming unified at 140 was happenstance. I understand that Julius Ndongo, when Terence Crawford got that win, Julius Ndongo came out of nowhere. No one was really talking about him. And then next thing you know, Julius Ndongo pops out of the ashes, stopping guys, right? Now, he had 2 of the 4 titles before Terence Crawford unified with him, right? So, a lot of people sleep on Ndongo, but at the end of the day, he had 2 of the 4 titles, and the first title he got, he knocked out a fighter in Russia. That's how he did it. That's how he became that guy, right? It was Edward Troyanetsky. I cannot pronounce that last name, but he knocked the guy out cold, right, for an IBF title, and then he embarrassed Ricky Burns in his home country in Scotland and completely UD'd him, right? So that being said, no one's ever going to forget that undisputed for Terence Crawford, regardless of what you think the competition was. He beat everyone that was in front of him. So there is some merit to unifying these titles. Now, you could make a difference between unifications and being undisputed, but ultimately that's what it's going into. So all that being said, man, Bob Arum, we see how he moves with him saying that, could he mean it? I don't know, man. Understand that Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko, Vasyl Lomachenko had 3 of the 4 titles at 135. The only thing he was missing was a WBC title from Devin the Dream Haney. So, why he says unifications is stupid, his golden gooses are unified champions. That's just facts. So, there's a lot of this, contradictory stuff with Bob Arum. The guy's getting old, maybe he's getting senile or something like that. But at the end of the day, man, yeah, these belts matter, man. There's nothing more exciting than champions fighting champions, and it shows, right? Understand that, Anthony Joshua lost to undisputed champion in Alexander Usyk, right? Jamel Charlo's toughest fight outside the loss with Tony Harrison is Brian Castano. All right, I can keep going on and on, but a lot of the fighters' toughest fights are from multi-division current belt holders or multi-division world champions who had a belt before are current champions. Those are the most exciting fights because they're accomplished, so we know they're good fighters. So all that being said, man, it's just building a case for Terence Crawford to sue Bob Arum even more by saying unifying belts is stupid. The wildest stuff I ever heard in boxing. It's either you got the goods or not. And if a guy has the resume and he has the accomplishments, you can't take it away from him. So a big name is a big name, but if he hasn't accomplished anything, it's all hype. So yeah, man, Bob Arum's digging his grave even more by trashing Terence Crawford, talking about unifying is stupid, right? Because the fighters at the time were champions he went to fight, which was Pacquiao, who had the WBA super title, and Errol Spence Jr. at the time, who had the IBF title. But now he has more, obviously, now. But, you know what I mean, right? Championship level fighters, i.e., unifying is stupid. So anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Yeah, man, my stance is, these belts, they matter. The sanctioning fees and the structure of these belts are a problem. But unifying, that's a necessity. I do believe once you become undisputed, though, or whatever, you don't need to be keeping those belts. You need to probably drop those titles because they do take way too much fees on those titles. So all that being said, man, I do think that it adds to the fighter's whole career. So anyway, let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.